Guide to New York City lists a number of top attractions. Ellis Island, the place where nearly 12 million people passed between the years 1892 and 1924. The Empire State Building, which, as the guide describes, is bittersweetly once again the city's tallest building. Rockefeller Center, New York City's communal gathering place. The Chrysler Building, called a monument to modern times and the mighty automotive industry. Grand Central, South Street Seaport, Museum of Modern Art. A photoist guide to Beth, Tfiloh, Dahan Community High School would most certainly list Dr. Chase as a top attraction. The teacher who expanded every student's vocabulary with words like indubitably, equivocate, and defenestrate. The teacher who reminded us of the usefulness of mnemonics, asking, "What rhymes with rope?" when he wanted us to mention that individual in charge of the Vatican. Anyone? He used similarly rhyming phrases like roast and toast, slice and dice in his description of certain events in European history. The teacher who kept the class attentive with suggestions to vote students off the island if they weren't paying attention or missed the answer to a question. The teacher who reminded us that computers aren't everything by handing out typewritten blurb sheets and filling the chalkboard with handwritten notes each day that no one dared erase. He was concerned for our safety as well. I recall a particular incident where he bent down and tied the shoelace of a friend of mine for fear that she would trip and fall. In fact, Dr. Chase teased that same student about a different shoe choice. He referred to her stilettos as weapons of mass destruction. Every student knew Dr. Chase, regardless of whether he or she ever encountered him in a classroom setting. When Mrs. Shore's school-wide email went out last week, the Facebook statuses of Beth Tfiloh alumni responded. Paying tribute to a dear former teacher, students reflected on the role Dr. Chase had played in each of their lives. "We will miss you," they wrote. "Rest in peace." One alumnus declared Dr. Chase to be inspirational, revering him as a man who seemed to know just about everything about history. When I consider my own experiences and the experiences related to me by my peers, it is no wonder that Dr. Chase has left such an extraordinary mark. I asked some of my classmates for their reflections, so I could share them with you this evening. One alumna wrote the following. "During my freshman year of college, on a visit to Beth Tfiloh, I told Dr. Chase I would be studying government. His eyes lit up, and he immediately pulled 4 books off his shelf, as well as a course summary from a class he had taught at Hopkins, and gave them to me to keep without hesitation." Another alumna wrote about a powerful learning experience. "One time I panicked and ran out of time on a test, subsequently receiving a D as my grade. I could hardly look at Dr. Chase without wanting to cry and believing I was doomed to fail the class. Dr. Chase listened to my explanation of what had happened, and though he wouldn't let me make up the grade, he told me he was confident in my ability to do well in his class, and that this experience would serve as a lesson to me for the future. Well, I didn't fail, and I was glad that Dr. Chase treated me as an adult, encouraging me to figure out how to manage my time better for the next test." Needless to say, that former student went on to study history in college. Another wrote that Dr. Chase raised the bar for students. He expected us to talk history with him like we were contemporaries, and challenged us to master the material to be able to do so. However, Dr. Chase's influence extended beyond the classroom. He made an enormous effort to connect the students personally. Multiple students recalled inside jokes they'd had with Dr. Chase. One student remembered how Dr. Chase referred to her as Her Majesty throughout high school. Another recounted how Dr. Chase would tease her that the number on her varsity basketball jersey, 20, was her latest test score. My sister and I both recall how Dr. Chase would roll his R's when he pronounced our last name. Dr. Chase forged unique relationships with each of his students. However, we all have in common an appreciation for such a great and kind and knowledgeable man who enjoyed his work and loved his students. Dr. Chase, thank you for taking pride in our accomplishments and celebrating our joyous occasions. Thank you for inspiring us to major in history and government and to pursue careers in education and law. We will sorely miss your great presence. But as a community, we will do our best to continue the tremendous legacy you left for us, an enthusiasm for teaching, a passion for learning, and a love of people.